Paur, Senior Writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to give you 5 waiver wire ads for Week 13 of the fantasy football season. This is the last week you can use the waiver wire in some formats, so plan accordingly. Make sure you have backups at all your positions going forward so you don't get shut out if someone would happen to get hurt on your team. Even at the kicker spot, you don't want to lose any points, and there's certainly some dead weight on your rosters. So be smart, get backups all the way around. Make sure you have no holes on your roster going forward. And these are 5 players that I'm looking at adding to my squad this week, especially if you have holes at some of these positions. So here's my first waiver wire ad for Week 13. It's Raiders running back Devonte Booker. So Josh Jacobs is banged up. He's no sure thing to play this week. We'll know more on his status later in the week. But if Jacobs is out, that means Booker's a starter. And even if Jacobs does play, Booker has been getting more work in the running game lately. He has at least 5 carries, 5 straight games. But I think if you have Jacobs, Booker is a must-add for fantasy teams. And even if you don't have Jacobs, Baker might be worth grabbing this week because he could get the start in place of Jacobs. So if you're looking for a spark at running back, want to take a chance, I would look at adding Booker in Week 13. My next waiver wire ad is Colts Tight End Trey Burton. Burton has touchdowns 2 straight games, at least 3 receptions, 5 of 7 games. He's becoming a top red zone target for this Colts team, and he's getting pretty consistent work in an offense that likes to look at the tight end. Phillip Rivers is a quarterback. We know he loves the tight end, so that bodes well for Burton. The tight end position, it isn't very good. It's really thin, top heavy. And I think if you're looking for a spark, I would consider adding Burton to my roster. My next waiver wire ad is Jets running back Frank Gore. Gore's not very exciting fantasy play, but he's a clear lead back for the Jets because of injury. He's getting a lot of work. He had a season high in rushing yards last week. He ran 18 times for 74 yards. He also caught 3 passes for 12 yards, so that gave him 11.6 fantasy points. If he starts to get a little work in the passing game like that, in addition to his double-digit carries, I think it bodes well for his fantasy value. He has double-digit fantasy points 2 straight games. He remains available in 60% of leagues. Again, I don't think Gore has a very high ceiling, but his floor is fairly high because he's going to get a lot of work in the running game in this Jets offense. My next waiver wire ad is Texans receiver Kiki Qt. So he has a chance to play a much bigger role the rest of the year because Will Fuller suspended, Randall Cobb's hurt. This means Qt could get a chance to start and play a big role in this pass-first offense. And we know he's produced well in the past as well. And he's a decent speculative ad, in my opinion, for the rest of the year. I'm not sure I would just plug and play him in my lineup this first week with Fuller out, but I would definitely look at adding him if I'm looking for a spark maybe down the stretch at the receiver position, because I think QT has some potential in an offense that really likes to throw the ball. My last waiver wire ad for Week 13 is Jets receiver Brichard Perryman. He's hit this list a few times in recent weeks, but he's still out there in a lot of leagues. He's available in 79% of leagues. Perryman continues to emerge late in the year for the Jets. He had 4 receptions for 79 yards on 8 targets last week. His targets were a season high, tied a season high. He has double-digit fantasy points 3 straight games. He's getting consistent work. We know he had a great finish to last year with the Bucs. Maybe he could be set up for something similar with the New York Jets this year. You never know. All right, those are my 5 waiver wire ads for Week 13 of the fantasy football season. Don't forget to check out my waivering article on the website. I will post a link to that in this video as well, so you can click on that and see all the waiver wire possibilities for Week 13. Good luck in navigating that waiver wire this week. This has been Jeff Paur for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day, everyone.